Minnesota State University Moorhead, and your Minnesota State MAVRIK. Red West tonight by Julian Purdy.
The NCAA and SIC victories promote good sportsmanship by sitting out with coaches and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponents. As dedicated to the athlete, we explore diverse and inclusive environment, and we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort. Go Labs.
Recognition of those who serve and protect it. As the group, please rise and give all headwear. Turn your attention to the stars and stripes behind you for the playing of our national anthem performed tonight by Carson Lewis. Kansas will get started at 125 pounds. Here are your starting lineups. At 125 pounds for the Dragons will be Cameron Williams. Wrestling for your national junior from Adams, Wisconsin. At 133 pounds, the senior from Mankato will receive Wrestling for your Mavericks will be either sophomore Max Bill or sophomore David Griffin. The regular coach by Chris Nelson, assisted by Jim Ford and Justin Soldier. Your Mavericks coach by head coach Jim McCoskey, assisted by Ty Eustace, Mike Brown, Jack Eustace, Dave Close, and Seth Elwood. Our official coach announcement, Mr. Gary Raker.
Of MSU Moorhead. Williams on the season 7-16. He's a redshirt freshman. McManus, as I mentioned, a junior. And on the year, McManus 10-8, 5-4 in duels. McManus, last time out, was the lone Maverick to pick up a win against St. Cloud State with the decision over Robbie Horseman, 7-4. Nice move there to get the takedown. 2 points from McManus as he takes an early lead here. On the year, McManus 10-8, as I mentioned, but he has won his last two. With a nice win over Robbie Horseman at St. Cloud State. And then prior to that, pinned Hunter Fans of Southwest Minnesota State. The Mavericks downing Southwest Minnesota State 31-8 back on January 30th. Jerry Raker, your official tonight, the Fulda, Minnesota native, familiar face here in Taylor Center. He's worked a lot of matches in Taylor Center over the years. Right now, in case you're just joining us, it's Trenton McManus, a junior from Adams, Wisconsin for Minnesota State, taking on Cameron Williams at 125. In the opening match here between Minnesota State and MSU Moorhead. Another 2-point takedown from McManus there. Four to 1 the score now in favor of McManus. Mayor Brian Zins, our public address announcers, adding on points there with a near fall for McManus. He takes a commanding 8-1 lead now. 9 seconds left here in this opening round. So the last time Minnesota State and MSU Moorhead met was during the 2018-19 season. The Mavericks prevailing in that one, 18-16. That was up in Moorhead, Minnesota. George Pharma with a 7-3 win. Kyle Rathman, who was a freshman that year, picked up a 10-2 win over Dylan Cornell at 149. Logan Saltu also picked up a win. Zach Johnson and Trevor Turf. 1918, that was last year. Another 2 points for McManus, makes it 10-1 in favor of the junior from Adams, Wisconsin. It was February 10th, 2019, when the Mavericks and MSU Moorhead met. 36-9 was the score. Mavericks have won the last 5 times they've squared off against the Dragons. There's an escape. 10-2 the score now. .40 seconds left. Second period, 2-point takedown for McManus. Takes a commanding 12-2 lead. Not going to let him get away there. On the bounds. So a reset. So the Mavericks taking on MSU Moorhead tonight. They're at Upper Iowa tomorrow, 7 o'clock in Fayette. Augustana and Northern State both on the docket. They'll close out the regular season Valentine's Day date with the Vikings February 14th, and then the match against Northern State on the 15th. We'll close out the regular season before the postseason begins, and of course, Super Regionals this year, February 29th. And then, of course, the NCAA Championship also in Sioux Falls. That's March 12th, 13th, and 14th. As the second period comes to an end, McManus leading 12-2. In the down position. Reversal for McManus makes it 14-2. Buck and a half left here in the third period. McManus also with riding time now goes over the 3-minute mark in that. We're at 125, the opening match between the Mavericks of Minnesota State and the Dragons of MSU Moorhead. Williams gets in his point for an escape. Make it 14-13. To be there, takedown makes it 16-3 for McManus. .20 seconds left here. .11 seconds left as we'll reset. Williams gets 1 point for the escape. 16-14 the score. That's without riding time at this point. It's going to be their takedown. So 18-4. 19-4 the final with riding time. Technical foul for McManus. 19-4. 5 points for the Mavericks. I'll bring up our second match of the night. Lucas Hagel, the senior from Wisconsin for Minnesota State, is going to win by forfeit at 133. There's a walkover there for Lucas Hagel. And then at 141, Louis Sanders will come out, but that's also going to be a walkover in favor of the Mavericks. So we're through 3 matches now. Mavericks take a commanding 11-0 lead. There was Louis Sanders getting the forfeit victory, so we'll go right to 149. Zach Scott will wrestle for MSU Moorhead. For the Mavericks, it'll be the junior from Apple Valley, Minnesota, Kyle Rathman, ranked 3rd in the country at 149 on the year. Rathman 11-2 overall. And Zach Scott 17-12. He's a freshman, but he's wrestled a lot for the Dragons so far this year. So Rathman, an All-American last year for Minnesota State, as I mentioned, 11-2 on the year. Had his winning streak coming to an end in the match against St. Cloud State. There's a 2-point turnaround right off the chute for Rathman. Rathman started out the year with 3 straight wins before dropping a decision to Vincent Turk of Iowa. That was at the Luther Open, and went on another streak where he won 8 in a row before losing, as I mentioned, in the duel against St. Cloud State. James Plesky, 3-1. The victor for the Huskies in that one. Looks like Kyle's got a bloody nose. So we're in the opening period here at 149. Kyle Rathman from Minnesota State, Zach Scott for MSU Moorhead. We're going to get back to action here now with 2:02 left in the opening frame. Rathman owning a 2-0 edge. Scott 16-11 on this season. Lost a close match to Plesky, 1-0. So this stacks up as a pretty good match here between Scott and Rathman, with both of these wrestlers at 149 dropping decisions to the second-ranked wrestler from St. Cloud State, James Plesky, here last week. So far, it's been Rathman in charge of this match. Rathman, one of that powerhouse, prep powerhouse at Apple Valley, has had a great career with the Mavericks. Mentioned that he was an All-American, named All-American last year as a sophomore.
Let's go, Mavericks!
Placed 7th last year at the national tournament. Also 2nd at regionals. Finished the year 19-5. 22-10 as a freshman. So 41-15 coming into the season for Rathman. 11-2. So that puts him at 52-17 for his 3-year career here with the Mavericks. 6 seconds left in the opening period. Rathman's an exercise science major. Qualified 4 times for the state high school tournament out of Apple Valley High School. Finished 3rd 3 times as a prep. 3-0 now in favor of Rathman. Mavericks this year, as I mentioned, 7-2. Opened the year with a win over UW Parkside. Lost to Western Colorado here at Taylor Center. There's another 2 points for Rathman now. This takes a 5-0 lead. Went out to San Francisco where they had an excellent tournament. Beat Adams State 22-21. Beat Chadron State 27-12, and then finished the tournament with a 38-9 victory over Simon Fraser. And then they started conference action downing UMary. That was in Bismarck, 29-12 over the Marauders. A 27-13 win at Minot State on the 25th of January. And then here recently picked up a 31-8 victory over Southwest Minnesota State before falling to St. Cloud State last weekend, 33-3. Rathman racking up the riding time right now. Owns a 5-0 lead with 40 seconds to go here in the opening period. Take a little break here again as he's bleeding again out of his nose.
Suntan City, MSU Army ROTC, Domino's Pizza, Buffalo Wild Wings, Subway.
I don't know if you can see it here. Maybe Mary can get a shot of Professor Emeritus Terry Davis. He's sitting across the way here from the press row. Terry Davis, of course, wrote the book Vision Quest and turned into the movie Vision Quest, which, of course, is one of the all-time great movies about high school wrestling. Back to the action now as Kyle Rathman gets cleaned up. .15 seconds left here in the second period, 5-0 the score. In favor of Kyle Rathman from Minnesota State. This match against Zach Scott. Mavericks leading in team score 17-0. After opening victory for Trenton McManus over Cameron Williams at 125. Lucas Hagel for Minnesota State picked up a forfeit victory, and then that was followed by another forfeit victory for Minnesota State with Louis Sanders at 141. So we're at 149 now with Kyle Rathman owning a 5-0 lead over Zach Scott here in the fourth match of tonight's event. The other starters for Minnesota State will be Cooper Siebrecht at 157, Logan Saltu at 165, Zach Johnson at 174, Trevor Turf at 184, Matt Bloom at 197, and then either Max Vilno or David Griffith at 285. We'll wrap things up. Another couple points there for Rathman on the takedown. Make it 7-0 in favor of the Apple Valley native. We're watching live NCAA Division II wrestling NSIC match between Minnesota State, the Mavericks ranked 17th in the country, hosting MSU Moorhead at beautiful Taylor Center. Boy, it was a nice move by Zach Scott there. Oh my gosh. Kyle Rathman just got pinned. That's a big win for Zach Scott there. Surprising, he turned it on Zach Scott wins by a fall over Kyle Rathman in the upset. Makes 17-6. Holy smokes, didn't see that coming. Nice move by Scott to turn the tables on Rathman, though. We're going to go to 157, where Cooper Seabrook, sophomore from Lisbon, Iowa, will take on Tell Ward from MSU Moorhead. Seabrook on the year 14-7. Tell Ward, who is a junior for MSU Moorhead, 1-5 on the year. (17-6) the score now. Seabrook dropped a decision to Jake Barzowski last time out. That was against St. Cloud State, a 5-3 decision on February 1st. They picked up a couple of wins right before that decision over Nathan Moore, a 3-1 victory on January 30th when the Mavericks took on Southwest Minnesota State, and then on January 25th he picked up a 6-1 decision over Zach Berry from Minot State. Seabrook went 9-3 in tournament action this year, 5-4 in duels so far on the season. Nice takedown by Seabrook. The sophomore from Lisbon, Iowa, taking an early 2-0 lead over Tell Ward. .41 seconds to go here in the opening period between Cooper Seabrook and Tell Ward. As I mentioned regarding the schedule, the Mavericks hosting MSU Moorhead here at Upper Iowa tomorrow, and then the last two matches of the regular season both be here at Taylor Center, with Augustana coming to town on February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, and then the next night, the 15th, Northern State is here. A couple of NSIC matches for the Mavericks to close out the year. The regular season, rather. Before heading off to postseason action with Super Regional over in Sioux Falls on the 29th. So, Cooper Seabrook with a 2-0 lead here. We're in this match against Tell Ward. Mavericks leading 17-6 after the first four matches, looking to extend that lead here in this 157 match. Seabrook extends his lead to 3-0, getting that escape. Of course, Minnesota State under the guidance of longtime head coach Jim Makovsky in his 27th season with Minnesota State. All-time record of 309, 138-4. MSU Moorhead led by Chris Nelson. Seabrook picks up another 2 points with that takedown. Nelson, North Dakota State grad in his 11th season, in charge of the Dragon Wrestling program, owns a 59-89 college record. Of course, Nelson, former national champ for the Bison as a wrestler, Lisbon, North Dakota native. Wrestled for legendary Bison wrestling coach Bucky Mon back in the day when Minnesota State and North Dakota State, both members of the fabled North Central Conference, the old NCC. Hope you're enjoying this match between Minnesota State, clad in purple tonight, and Minnesota State University Moorhead in the traditional red and black colors of the Dragons. 2 seconds to go. All right, we're through 2 periods. It's 5-0 in favor of Cooper Seabrook, Minnesota State sophomore. Looking to extend Minnesota State's lead in team points. Mavericks up 17-6 right now. Busy weekend for Minnesota State in terms of events going on right here in Mankato. In Taylor Center, you've got, in addition to tonight's match between Minnesota State and MSU Moorhead in college wrestling, you've also got tomorrow, you've got basketball. The Mavericks, men's women's basketball, hosting a couple of NSIC contests, both Friday and Saturday. There's also, as Seabrook continues to extend his lead, 7-0 now with the takedown, going for the pin. There it is. Seabrook closing it out. 5:59, the time of that. Won by fall. Cooper Seabrook, 23-6 now. The Mavericks build upon their lead. Seabrook with a pin over Tell Ward. It's going to put us at the 165 match coming up here next. Logan Saltu, senior from Rochester, Minnesota, taking on Braden Ortloff at 165. Saltu on the season, 9-11. Braden Ortloff, 6-7. So I was talking about the schedule in Mankato this weekend for Minnesota State Athletics, and 4 basketball matches, 4 basketball contests Friday and Saturday. The Maverick men and Maverick women at home this weekend, both Friday and Saturday. We got tonight's wrestling match. We got track and field going on this weekend in Taylor Center. Jerry Raker says nope, out of bounds. No points. So we'll reset here. This match between Logan Saltu and Braden Ortloff. Both the men's and women's hockey teams are at home this weekend, downtown Mankato, with the Maverick women taking on number 1 ranked Wisconsin at the Mayo Clinic Health Service Event Center. And then the Maverick men, in terms of men's hockey, the 3rd-ranked Mavericks hosting the number 15 Northern Michigan Wildcats, both Friday and Saturday, also at the Mayo Clinic Health Service Event Center. What am I leaving out? Softball, Mavericks are in the Maverick All Sports Dome. So Salto gets the first points of this match with the 2-point takedown. So the Maverick softball team opening up its season this weekend in Mankato for the first time playing games in the Maverick All Sports Dome. So they'll be indoors on the artificial surface, taking on Lewis University and then 2 other teams, both from Missouri, Emporia State and I think Northwest Missouri State are the other matches, other games for Lori Meyer and her crew. So busy weekend in town. There's also a concert, I think, going on downtown Mankato on Friday, and then Dancing with the Mankato Stars on Saturday, also taking place in downtown Mankato. So the Key City, the place to be this weekend if you're looking to do some stuff, because there's a ton of options. Mavericks leading here against the Dragons of MSU Moorhead. In terms of the team score, is 23-6 right now. And right now we're watching Logan Saltu at 165 taking on Braden Ortloff. Saltu owning a 2-0 lead. He's in the second period, owning a 2-0 lead. Did I say second period? I think it might be the first period. So we're going to go to the second period now. Salto owning a 2-0 lead. So there's the reversal. So 4-0 lead in terms of where we are in terms of this match. Mavericks, as I mentioned, ranked 17th in the country in the last poll, which came out. Another one comes out, I think, next week. But the three individuals ranked for Minnesota State. Louis Sanders, number 9 at 141. He won by forfeit tonight. Rathman, ranked 3rd at 149. And the senior Zach Johnson, we'll see Johnson at 174 here in a bit, is ranked 10th. MSU Moorhead doesn't have anybody ranked amongst all their wrestlers. Taking a look at their records. There's a 3-point takedown for Salto, so he builds upon his lead now. 6-1. Zach Scott now 18-12 on the year after that pin over. That's a big win for Zach Scott over Kyle Rathman. Evan Foster is 16-11. Mason Schultz, who we didn't see tonight because the Dragons forfeited at 141, 16-13. 6-2 the score now as we near the end of this end of the second period. Logan Saltu, the senior from Rochester, up 6-2. As mentioned, Minnesota State did drop that match to number 1 ranked St. Cloud State on the weekend. Had won their previous 6 matches going into that one against St. Cloud State. Ward gets a point for the escape, make it 6-3. Buck 28 left on the clock here in the third period between these two NSIC wrestlers. We're under a minute now, 53 seconds to go, 6-3 the score. Logan Salto looking to close this out, but all of a sudden now it becomes a 6-5 match as Orloff gets a reversal. Not over by any stretch of the imagination. Salto was closing in on the 3-minute mark in terms of riding time. Now it's down to less than 2.5. Better be careful here. Vulnerable position. Braden Orloff making a late charge, trying to rebound from that 6-5 Minnesota State lead. 12 seconds to go. He gets the takedown there and a reversal. So 9-point swing there right at the very end makes it 9-6. 9-7 is going to be the final score between Orloff gets the decision. Unfortunately, now the Dragons pick up that one. 23-9 the score now. In favor of Minnesota State. Braden Orloff picks up a 9-7 decision over Logan Salto. We're going to go to 174 now. Where a wrestler with national championship experience, Jack Johnson, senior from Waukee, Iowa, for Minnesota State, ranked 10th in the country, takes on Evan Foster. Johnston's 13-6 on the year. Evan Foster comes into tonight's match owning a 16-11 record. So Johnston, who dropped a 9-6 decision to Colton Eichens of St. Cloud State the last time out, looking to bolster his record for 2019-20. Came into tonight 13-6 on the year, 6-3 in duels, 7-3 in tournaments. Johnson owns an 8-3 record in terms of Division II opponents, 5-2 in terms of falls on the year. Grabs a hold of the leg. We're at 174. Seventh match of the night. Minnesota State owning a 23-9 record in terms of team score. This match is the 174. We started at 125. Trent McManus of Minnesota State won by technical foul over Cameron Williams. There are a couple of forfeits. Minnesota State's Lucas Hagel at 133 and Louis Sanders picking up forfeitures. At that point, Minnesota State laid 17-0.
1 point escape Foster.
Minnesota State leading here 2-1 in this match right now between Zach Johnson and Evan Foster. Earlier, Minnesota State took a 17-0 lead after the first three matches, but Zach Scott pinned Kyle Rathman to make it 17-6. Minnesota State's Cooper Seabrook won by a fall at 5:15 over Tell Ward to make it 23-6 in favor of Minnesota State. And then as you saw, Braden Ortloff rallied late to pick up a 9-7 decision over Logan Salto. And 3 points for MSU Moorhead made it 23-9 in favor of Minnesota State. So we're at 174. That catches you up on the score. Zach Johnson right now, Minnesota State leading Evan Foster 2-1. We're in the first period of this matchup. Foster's a sophomore. Looking at a takedown, but the referee, Jerry Raker, says no. Awfully close. Well, there's a reversal there. Foster now leading 3-2. His escape. And Foster turning the tables on Zach Johnson there, at least temporarily. 12 seconds to go here in the opening period. Okay, so we get to the end of the opening period. 3-3 the score. We're in the second period here between Zach Johnston, a senior from Milwaukee, Iowa, ranked 10th in the country, facing Evan Foster. Foster picks up another point with the escape to take a 4-3 lead now over Johnston. Foster's put in his time this year. 27 matches under his belt already. Foster looking to even things up here before the end of the second period. Five seconds to go. So you heard Brian Zins on the public address there. It's going to be challenged, but it was a 2-point near fall for Johnston. That made it 7-4, but it's being challenged by MSU Moorhead. So the Mavericks looking to close out this victory, a commanding 23-9 lead right now over MSU Moorhead. And we are in the 7th match of the night with Zach Johnston taking on Evan Foster. Zach Johnston, in case you're wondering, had just recorded a near fall. Was challenged by the MSU Moorhead staff. And the challenge was something that the referee agreed, and so no near fall, and then the score reverts to 5-4. 5-4 for Zach Johnston now, as we head to the third period with 1 point difference between Zach Johnston. Now a 2 point difference with Johnston getting the escape. 6-4 the score. So MSU Moorhead 1-6 this year. The Dragons were 2-10 last year, 4-7 in 2018. Johnson was NSIC Wrestler of the Week a couple weeks ago. .37 seconds to go. 6-4 the score in favor of Minnesota State's Zach Johnston. MSU Moorhead's Evan Foster trying to rally. Well, great job by Johnston to get out of that one. Looking to rack up some points. At this point, the referee says no, he doesn't have position. 8 seconds to go. Right at the very end there. Foster credited with a 2 point takedown. That's going to tie it up 6-6. We're going to go to overtime. Makovsky's going to challenge that. Jim Makovsky is going to challenge that call at the end there. So we go again to review right at the end there. Evan Foster was originally given a 2 point takedown right near the end of the third period, trailing 6-4. If he gets credit with that for that 2 point takedown, we'll go to overtime. Referee is saying that the call was confirmed, so it's going to be 6-6. So we'll go to overtime. 1 minute will go on the clock, and we'll go to overtime. .66 to score here. This match at 174 between Zach Johnston of Minnesota State and Evan Foster of MSU Moorhead. For the most part, Johnston had led, and again, a late rally for Evan Foster has sent it into overtime. This could be it right here. There it is right there. Should be 2 point takedown. There it is, 2 point takedown for Johnston. 8 8-6 the win. The senior from Waukee, Iowa, prevailing 8-6 over Foster, 26-9. The score now with that win for Zach Johnson. So we have drama here in Taylor Center. A little bit anyways. Close match between Zach Johnson and Evan Foster goes to overtime. We're gonna go to 184. Next on the docket, Trevor Turf, the sophomore from De Pere, Wisconsin for Minnesota State, taking on Steve Abbott of MSU Moorhead. On the year, Turf 12-4 on the year. Steve Abbott, who's a freshman, 1-3. Turf, last time out, lost to Tyree Overton of St. Cloud State 11-4. Before that, had a nice winning streak going. Had won 8 matches in a row before dropping that match to Tyree Overton of St. Cloud State. Only a sophomore, Turf. Had an excellent freshman season last year. And 12-4 this year, 8-1 in duels. 8-1 against Division II opponents. So here early in the match, Turf trailing Steve Abbott 2-1. Officials will clean that up real quick. $1:48 left in the opening period. 2-1 the score in favor of Steve Abbott of MSU Moorhead over Minnesota State's Trevor Turf. Tour is actually in his 3rd year with Minnesota State, having redshirted his 1st year. Went 13-7 last year. Placed 6th at the Super Regionals a year ago as a freshman. Business major, as I mentioned, from De Pere. Has worked his way up the ladder here. As a redshirt freshman, wrestled unattached at 174, 165. So he's now at 184. And with his frame, he probably could wrestle at 197 next year. Not putting the cart in front of the horse here. St. Cloud State, as we mentioned, the #1 ranked team in the country. A couple other NSIC teams, in addition to Minnesota State, in the top 25 with Upper Iowa, ranked 10th. Of course, the Mavericks faced Upper Iowa in Fayette tomorrow. Mavericks are 17th. Northern State's tied for 23rd with Minot State. Augustana and UMary also receiving votes in the national poll. 4-3 is now the score. Minnesota State's Trevor Turf trailing Steve Abbott right now in this 184 match. There's a nice turnaround by Turf. He gets 2 point on the reversal now for Turf. 34 seconds to go in the opening period. 6-4 the score in favor of Trevor Turf. Six. Abbott picks up a couple points there. As we near the end of the opening period, Turf better be careful here. But I think Abbott's going to run out of time. Good job by Turf to stand up, looking for some points. We're going to end the opening period at 6-6. Get to the second period now, and lots of fireworks there in that first 3 minutes of action. Okay, 2 minutes of action, I'm sorry. Turf gets credit there for a reversal to make it 8-6 in his favor. I think MSU Moorhead would like to challenge that reversal. So Jerry Rain will take a look at it there. MSU Moorhead's head coach Chris Nelson felt that it wasn't necessarily a reversal. As a local sports denizen likes to say, we shall see. Mavericks owning a 26-9 lead in terms of team score right now. We're at 184. The eighth match of tonight with Turf for Minnesota State and Abbott for MSU Moorhead. So they're going to give Turf the points there, and the score will remain 8-6. The two remaining matches at 197 and 285 will have Matthew Bloom at Minnesota State taking on Logan Road for MSU Moorhead, and then either Max Vilno or David Griffith for the Mavericks at heavyweight taking on Jordan Magnuson. Turf's doing a great job of keeping him down, and now he's turned Steve Abbott over. Abbott finds a way to not have his back exposed, temporarily at least. So another 4-point near fall for Turf. Makes it 12-6 in favor of Minnesota State in this match between Turf and Abbott. 52 seconds left in the second period. Another near fall for Turf. Makes it 14-6 as he takes a commanding lead here in the second period. Seconds to go. So the Mavericks picked up a win in the very first match. Trenton McManus defeated Cameron Williams, and then a couple of forfeits with Lucas Hagel and Louis Sanders picking up wins at 133 and 141. Put the Mavericks up 17-0 after the first 3 matches, and then a bit of an upset with Zach Scott for MSU Moorhead, pinning third-ranked Kyle Rathman, make it 17-6. Cooper Seabrick pinned Tell Ward for Minnesota State at 5:15, make it 23-6 in favor of the Mavericks at 1:57. Up match for Seabrick. Coming at 5:15, as I mentioned, Logan Saltu dropped a 9-7 decision to Braden Ortloff, make it 23-9, and then Zach Johnston with a nice 8-6 overtime win over Evan Foster, 174, to make it 26-9. Right now, we're in the third period of this match at 184 with Trevor Turriff squaring off against Steve Abbott. Turriff right now gets a 2-point takedown to make it 16-6. Once Abbott get up to make it 16-7 on the escape. This match was close at the beginning, 6-6 after the opening period, but Turriff opening up a wide lead here. Since then, 16-9 there as Abbott gets a takedown. Just over a minute left here in regulation. Turriff trying to get out of this. We get below the 1 minute mark now with Turriff leading 16-9. Abbott racking up some riding time, but it's not going to be enough to get any points since there's less than a minute remaining, and he's got 27 points in riding time. There's an escape from Turriff, 17-9 now in favor of the sophomore DePere, and he chucks on a 2-point takedown, 19-9. 19-10, 28 seconds. $21-10. Careful now. Abbott gets credit for a 2-point takedown. I think we put the points up there. $30-9 to score now. I think it was 23-12 was the score on the scoreboard, but I'm not sure if that's right. Another 3 points tacked on for Minnesota State regardless. Brings us to 197. Bloom from Minnesota State at 197, the senior from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, enters tonight's match owning a 10-4 mark. He's scoring off against Logan Rode, a senior with a 1-5 record. Bloom's a senior, battled injuries here the last year or so, and he's got to get a pin right out of the chute. That didn't take long. "23 seconds in. 36-9. As Matt Bloom ends that quickly. 11-4 now on the season. Bloom gets his 5th pin of the year. Puts the Mavericks up 36-9. So
moving on to heavyweight wrestling for the Mavericks, Jordan Madison. On the mat for Jordan Madison, a sophomore from Amherst, Wisconsin.
So it's going to be Max Vilno for Minnesota State taking on Jordan Magnuson for MSU Moorhead in the heavyweight match. On the year, Vilno 16-11. Magnuson 8-4 on the year. My last time out for Magnuson, he picked up the lone win for MSU Moorhead against St. Cloud State with a 3-1 victory over Taylor Hugg. Vilno dropped a 7-2 decision to Isaiah Oropeza, St. Cloud State. So both guys wrestle against St. Cloud State, but they face different wrestlers on the year. Vilno's another guy, youngster, who got some great experience last year for the Mavericks. Amherst, Wisconsin native. As I mentioned on the year, 16-10. 15-12 last year on the year, 3-6 in duels. Represented Minnesota State at the Super Regional as a freshman, picking up some great experience. So 15-12 last year. 16-10 right now for his 2-year career. Stands 31-22. Minnesota State's going to win this match right now, leading 36-9. So Minnesota State going to pick up another win in NSIC action. Of course, NSIC, one of the top wrestling conferences in the country. Right now, this is the last match of the evening with Max Vilno for the Mavericks taking on Jordan Magnuson. Magnuson, a junior, 8-4 on the year. No score right now between Vilno and Magnuson. 8 seconds to go in the first period. So we'll go to the second period. Taking a quick look at the league standings again. St. Cloud State 6-0, Augustana 4-0, Upper Iowa 5-1, the Mavericks 3-1, Northern State 2-4, Southwest Minnesota State 2-4, and then UMary 0-3, Minot State 0-4, and MSU Moorhead 0-5 coming into tonight. Magnuson there pick up the first point of this match. Buck 18 left here in the second period, 1-0 to score. In favor of Jordan Magnuson from MSU Moorhead. .53 seconds to go. Both wrestlers grappling for a position. Not much going on right now. Yep. The referee giving Magnuson a warning there, using his head. 3 seconds. So Villeneuve chooses the down position as we go into the final period of regulation. Villeneuve trailing by a point, 1-0 in favor of MSU Moorhead's Jordan Magnuson here in our heavyweight match. The final match of the evening. Minnesota State leading 36-9. Villeneuve trying to get away and Magnuson not letting him. We're in the final period here. There we go. So Villeneuve gets the escape and ties the match at 1-1. $1:25 to go here in regulation. Minnesota State will win this match. Right now, the Mavericks leading 36-9. We're in this final match of the evening. Max Villeneuve taking on Jordan Magnuson. Score tied 1-1 as we are about approaching the last minute of play. .33 seconds to go, 1-1. Looks like we'll could head to overtime here. 10 seconds to go here. For the second time this evening. 1-1 the score between these two wrestlers at 285. Magnuson with the height advantage over Minnesota State's Max Villeneuve. Jerry Raker, our referee, asked for 1 minute on the clock. We'll go to overtime. .39 seconds to go. Two evenly matched wrestlers here. Both trying to find a way to win this match. Villeneuve 16-10 on the year. His opponent Jordan Magnuson is 8-4. It's going to be a 2-point takedown for Magnuson. That's going to end it. So 3-1 the final score as Jordan Magnuson prevails in the last match of the night. Final team score 36-12 in favor of Minnesota State. Hope you enjoyed this match. Brought to you by MVP Productions here, MAVRIK Broadcasting Network. Minnesota State prevailing. This NSIC match here tonight over MSU Moorhead. Thanks. See you next week.